periodically farmers are left with a very hard task of taking up a very strong decision on what kind of crop they're supposed to really grow in order to make a lot of money. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, in this video today, I'm going to share with you 5 things that you really need to consider in order for you to select in a very good way what kind of crops to grow in order for you to make a lot of money, or else what kind of crop to grow in order to be in a very good business. Okay, so if it is your first time to visit this channel, make sure that you subscribe in order for you to get each and everything that I will be posting here on this very channel. Also, don't forget to like this video and also hit on the notification bell in order for you to be part of this family. My name is Mabu Mahmoud, and on this very channel, we always will put every content about agribusiness, and each and everything that you really need about agribusiness, you'll just get it on this very channel. Okay, so just to go straight to the point, the first thing that you really need to consider when you are making decision on what kind of crop to grow in order to make money is or maturity days of the crop. Okay, it's very important for you as a farmer to know how long it takes for the crop to really grow and how long it takes for the crop to really get ready. Okay, this will give you a clear picture of when you are supposed to expect your product to be ready for supply in the market. So if you really know the maturity days of your crop, you'll even be in position to really know how you can manipulate the supply in the market, and when you can even start really seeing the right time of right time in the market, and then you start reversing your productions till when you get when the best time to plant in order to get the best time to make supply in the market. Okay, the second thing that we really need to consider when deciding on what kind of crop to grow for business is also knowing the level of demand, market demand of that particular crop in the market. Okay, it is very important for us, since we are targeting market, we really need to make sure that we are growing crops which are really needed, which can really be bought, which are really in high demand in order for us to make money. Okay, when we are considering that, we see how popular a particular crop is. The popularity of the crop will even tell you how much it can be demanded in the market. Another thing that will really help you to know the level of market demand is also the multiple uses of a particular crop product. Okay, so you get like there are some crop produce which are really having multiple uses in different sections. Like you get, like for example, maize you get there are some people who are opting to use to consume them fresh. There are some people who are opting to turn them into posho flour. There are some people who are opting to use them for feeding animals. There are some people who are even opting to use them in feeding fish and very many other ways. So it tells you that such a crop which has multiple uses can never go or can never lack market at the end of the time when you produce them. So it is very important for you really to know the popularity of the crop and also to know whether the crop has multiple uses that can make it widen the scope of its demand in the market. So it is very important for you to consider that. The third thing that you really need to consider when you are thinking of what kind of crop to really put in a particular time for business is also to consider the seasonality of the crop. Okay, not that all the crops can fit in every seasons within the year. Okay, there are some crops which you get like they cannot fit in some seasons within the year. So it is very important for you to consider. So make sure that you see the crop and you try to really see whether it can be even grown in the odd season of the year, like during dry season. Can you really plant that crop and irrigate it and it can still perform for you? Okay, you really need to consider that. But if it is that crop that even when the season is not wet enough during dry weather, it cannot perform. Even if you irrigate it, it means it's going to be quite hard for you to tap the business with that crop in a particular period of time when you want really to use it for supply in the market. So you really need to consider the the seasonality of a crop in order for you to make business with that crop. Another thing that we really need to consider, ladies and gentlemen, is the price of the product. Okay, the price of the product. Just like I told you at the in the previous point, that you really need to consider the demand of a particular product in the market. The demand goes vis-a-vis with the price. Okay, you get like during some particular, there are some crops, there are some products which are always having their price is averagely good even in all the seasons within the year. But there are some crops which the price keeps fluctuating depending on its supply in the market and also its demand. So you really need to consider that the crop that you're trying to grow for business is not the minimum price that it drops to cannot really can still make you really get profit, can still make you really not to run out of the business. If you consider that, it will really enable you, it will really give you courage and power to be in the production, knowing that in case of the drop in price, it will never still leave you with a lot of loss. So we really need to consider the price of the product when we are doing production for business. So another thing that you really need to consider, ladies and gentlemen, is the yield of that particular crop that you're trying to choose for production. The profit of a producer or a crop producer is really determined by how much yield he gets from his production, and as well the cost that he gets into in the process of production. So if you really get a very high yielding crop, at the end of the time, it will really increase on your profit maximization, and this will really be so good for you as a business person. So we really need to consider the price, we need to consider the yield of the crop. And this means that for whatever crop that you have really chosen to grow, you really need to go and get the best seed, the seed which is high yielding, the seed which is in the high quality. And since we are towards the end of this video, I'm really going to give you a vast bonus tip that the bonus tip that can really help you so well when you are deciding on the kind of crop. Once you have now seen all those factors and you're very convinced that you are growing a particular crop, say you are growing maize, make sure that you go for the best maize seed variety. Okay, you really need to check a very good seed, because the variety will even determine how much yield you are going to get, will even determine resistance to the diseases, will even determine resistance to other factors like harsh weather. Really, variety will help you so much. So it means that when you have chosen that, you get to the yield of the crop, you can see the yield, you can judge the yield of the crop based on the variety that you have got in the market. So once you have been really told that this particular, or as you have seen the particular crop variety, you know it of high yield capacity, you just really need to go that. But make sure that you really need to put into consideration that it's not all about the crop, it's not all about the crop variety having high yield, and you think by the fact that is having high yielding characteristics, it can produce for you a lot of good, good outcome. It is still come back to your management. So if you manage very well, it is going to produce for you very high yield, and this will mean that you will make a lot of money and you will really maximize your profit. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the 5 things that I wanted really to share with you when you are deciding on what kind of crop you're supposed to grow for business. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in to this video and watching this video. Make sure that you subscribe. Please follow us on this very channel every time in order for you to get good tips that can really support you in your agri-business endeavor. My name is Mabu Mahmoud and I'm an agriculturalist by profession. Thank you so much. I love you all. Bye-bye.